Hello guys, and welcome to another MK Mobile character review, today featuring the one and only MK11 Kabal. As usual guys, please note the date when this video has been recorded because a lot of things may have changed since then, and if you're not aware of the matrix I'm using in order to evaluate characters, you can find it on the top right corner of the screen. So without any further ado, let's put MK11 Kabal to the test. According to many, Kabal is probably the best character in the game right now, and probably they're right. However, he, as all the others, should pass the test first. So let's check his stats. His attack is 56,511, which is the 13th highest in MK Mobile and the highest in the Gold League. He actually shares first place with Classic Melina. When it comes to the hit points, they're 101,568, 24th highest overall and the 7th highest in the Gold League. The toughness is 37,800, the 28th highest in MK Mobile and the 10th highest among the gold characters, and the recovery is again 37,800, the 27th highest in the game and the 12th in the gold league. The power generation is just 100%, so for his stats MK11 Kabal gets 17.8 out of 28 possible points. Special 1 of Kabal is called Buzzsaw Trio. Quite honestly, it is a very useful special attack. Unfortunately, it can be blocked by the opponent, but probably this is the only disadvantage of it. When it comes to buffs and debuffs, it has Snare and Eventual Bleed. You can actually make the opponent bleed if you stun the opponent first with your tagging attack and then perform your special 1, and of course you have to score more than 90% on the minigame. If you manage to do that, he's going to be snared and you're going to apply bleed on top of that. In addition, the special attack can be cast from distance, however you have to keep in mind that if the opponent is lying on the ground and you are away from him, the first mini hit will miss. Also, the special attack is lethal, it consists of 3 mini attacks and it has the single tap circle as minigame. When it comes to the damage, the minimum damage of Kabal Special 1 is 18,648, which is the 20th highest overall and the 5th highest among the gold characters. When it comes to the maximum damage, this is 46,621, the 2nd highest overall and the highest among the gold characters. That's really incredible. Once again, let's check the properties of the ability. It can be blocked by the opponent, it has Snare plus Eventual Bleed as debuffs. It can be cast from distance, it is lethal, it consists of 3 mini attacks and it has the single tap circle as minigame. So for his special 1, Kabal gets the impossible 12.7 out of 13 points. Dash and Hook, this is the name of Kabal Special 2, that's another incredible ability. First of all, it is unblockable and it has Slow as debuff. Also, it can be cast from distance, however you have to keep in mind that again, like his special 1, if you cast it from distance and the opponent is lying on the ground, you'll have issues. However, unlike his special 1, this time the ability will miss completely if the opponent is lying on the ground. I don't know why, but it seems Kabal has some issues hitting people that are not standing. Anyways, let's proceed with the properties of the special attack. It is lethal, it has 5 mini attacks and it has the 2 single tap circles as minigame. When it comes to damage, the minimum damage of his special 2 is 46,621, which is the 16th highest in MK Mobile and the 2nd highest among the gold characters. The maximum damage is 93,243, the 15th highest in the game and the highest among the gold characters. Here again shares first place with Classic Melina. So let's go to the properties of the ability. It is completely unblockable, it has Slow as debuff. It can be cast from distance, however again you have to be careful if the opponent is lying on the ground. It is lethal, it consists of 5 mini attacks and it has the 2 single tap circles as minigame. So for his special 2, MK11 Kabal scores 14.3 out of 19 possible points. The fatal blow of Kabal, guys, is called Around the World. Quite honestly, it looks amazing. And by the way, because of his passive, you're going to be doing this fatal blow many times. What you need to know about the ability is first that it has very useful buff for an X-ray, is power generation, because once you do the X-ray, the power generation will be applied not only to you but to all remaining alive members on your team, which is incredible. And there's another thing you need to know about MK11 Kabal Fatal Blow, and this thing is that the ability will connect from distance as long as the enemy is not lying on the ground. Again, if the enemy is not standing, the Fatal Blow will fail, which is very unfortunate, so keep that in mind, guys. When it comes to the damage, it is 111,891, which is the 21st highest in the game and the second highest among the gold characters. He is losing only to classic Melina. Once again, let's repeat the properties of the ability. It has power generation as buff and it can be cast from distance as long as the opponent is standing. So for his Fatal Blow, MK11 Kabal gets 3.5 out of 4 possible points, and the total amount of points he gets adds up to the whooping 30.6 out of 36 possible. That's incredible for a gold character. MK11 Kabal basic attacks, guys, are really fast, especially after tagging, because he gets the buff speed. Probably he's the fastest character in the game. When it comes to chaining, it is not that good, unfortunately. He doesn't push opponents back when blocking, and sometimes the animation when he puts his weapons on his back is slow and leaves him vulnerable for counterattack. However, the amazing speed of his basic attacks kind of compensates for his imperfect chaining. In general, guys, MK Kabal is a great character when it comes to basic attacks, and judging from his passive, I don't think he needs block breaker equipment in an MK11 team. Outside of MK11 team, he might need it though. Another thing, please be careful about his combo enders and his special attacks, as they don't always chain properly. As you already know, after one of Kabal combo enders, the opponent finds himself lying on the ground for a short period of time, and as we already saw, Kabal doesn't like this. You will miss part of the damage of special 1, and your special 2 and Fatal Blow will miss completely, so be careful there. In the end of the day, I'll be giving him 5 points for speed and 4 points for chaining. MK11 Kabal has very good basic attacks, so he gets 9 points out of 10. Out of 20, Kabal gets 20 points for his passive faster than you, which in my opinion is probably the best passive in the game, of course when it comes to being perfect in one specific team, because outside of MK11 team his passive is not that great. However, inside in an MK11 team, this is probably the best passive overall. It is amazing. So let's find out why. The first part of his passive is all about tagging in. On tagging, he stuns the opponent and he gets speed buff. This is amazing. He can stun characters like, for example, MK11 Jade, Assassin Jade, Relentless Jason, etc., who cannot evade if stunned, and thus he can completely counter them. In addition, the speed buff on his basic attacks makes sure that your power bar gets filled pretty fast in case it is not already filled. Now granted, this part of his passive feels like the passive of Ravenous Melina and Stun Double Johnny Cage, however it has one issue, and the issue is that it can be completely blocked. So in other words, unlike Melina and Stun Double Johnny Cage, you have to time your tagging when playing MK11 Kabal. And by the way, speaking of timing, the best time to tag Kabal in so that you can make 100% sure that you're going to stun the opponent is in between the enemy's basic attack combination, as you can currently see. By doing that, you can guarantee that first, your tagging will be successful, and second, you have chance to apply bleed on top of the regular snare of your special 1. And now it is getting even better because we are going to the second part of his passive, and it is that when MK11 teammate is stunned, Kabal will attempt to stun the opponent and remove the stun from his teammate. Guys, this is incredible, this is more than overpowered, even though we don't know how attempt translates in percentage. However, so far, judging from my experience, Kabal will remove the stun almost every time when the enemy stuns any of your MK11 teammates. And this is so overpowered, not because it will remove the stun. Already in the game we have characters who make your teammates immune to stun, but because it will stun the stunner. And this is so damn good against so many strong characters who rely on stun, such as, for example, almost all Scorpions, Ravenous Melina, Dark Emperor Lucane, Combat Cup Johnny Cage, and so on and so on. The second part of his passive is simply overpowered. Imagine Dark Emperor Lucane starting the game, stunning the opponent, however, Kabal removes the stun and stuns Dark Emperor Lucane instead. So in a way, Dark Apple Luke will be almost useless against an MK11 characters. This part of Kabal's passive, guys, is freaking broken. And now we get to the third part of his passive, guys, and it is that every time when an MK11 teammate dies, Kabal will perform 3 fatal blow. This is simply, I don't know, this is like out of this world. This is so good. The only thing which I don't like about this is that I have to wait somebody to die. So in a way this leaves Kabal more viable as a support. I mean, you can still play him as a main damage dealer of your team, but in order for the full potential of his passive to work, you need to leave him as a support. You need to keep him tagged out. And this is the only problem I have with his passive. It is not a problem, it's just the only thing which I dislike about it. Once again, 20 out of 20, this passive is incredible, even though I admit that outside of MK11 team, only the first part of his passive will work, which is some kind of a stun double Johnny Cage passive, but it is still viable considering his great special and basic attacks. So 20 out of 20 for his passive. Kabal is just a Netherrealm character, so he gets 1 point for classes and 2 points for tagging attack. Okay guys, it is time to decide whether Kabal is a good character, and I believe this won't be a hard thing to do. Not at all. He has extremely fast basic attacks, incredibly good special attacks. His special 1 is one of the best specials in the game. His special 2 also is very nice, it is unblockable and it can be cast from distance. Of course, as long as the enemy is not lying on the ground. Please keep that in mind, guys. On top of that, he has probably the best passives in the game, with the only weakness that it is so good only in an MK11 team. Outside of an MK11 team, it is not that great. And that's unfortunate, but it is not a big deal. And on top of that, Kabal has pretty good tagging attack, so really he has no weaknesses. His stats are okay. He shares first place with Classic Melina when it comes to highest attack in the GOAT League, so I believe it won't come as a surprise that I'll be giving him the full amount of points, 3 out of 3. He really is the perfect character, especially considering that he is just a GOAT card. And with my 3 subjective points, guys, MK11 Kabal scored the incredible 83.3 points, so we can label him as an amazing character. Actually, there are only 2 cards in the game who scored higher than him so far, and those 2 cards are both diamonds, Injustice 2 Raiden and MK11 Scorpion. Final verdict, amazing character. Kabal as an opener, guys. In general, not a good idea, even though his special 1 is really awesome and he will do pretty good with the Devastator. And by the way, once maxed, his Respirator is a wonderful defensive item too. In spite of all of this, I don't really think that Kabal is your best choice for an opener. I mean, he can manage being an opener, but still, please use him on spot number 1 in the team, only if there isn't anybody else who can do better. And this applies only when he is outside of an MK11 team. If he is in MK11 team, then he should never be the opener. When it comes to the tough matchups for Kabal, even though he is almost perfect character, there are certain other cards that counter him. And one of those cards is Spec Ops Scorpion, because he can simply save the teammate who is victim of Kabal's fatal blow. The same applies to MK11 Sub-Zero, again Warlock Quan Chi. And there are 2 other characters who will be very annoying for Kabal, and those 2 characters are Dark Empress Kitana and even Dark Lord Kotal Khan. Reason being is Kabal can use his Fatal Blow passive on the Osh deck or Kitana's Revenant. I've already tested it, it works. Those 2 characters will be really annoying for Kabal. You can kill whoever you want on the MK11 team, no issues, because you know that after that Kabal will waste his Fatal Blow on the Osh deck. That's perfect. When it comes to the good matchups, they should be Dark Emperor Liu Kang, Ravenous Melina, Stun Double Johnny Cage, Aftershock Tremor, and so on and so on. In general, almost any character who rely on stun. Those characters will have serious problems against Kabal. Also, Assassin Jade and Relitos Jason will have difficult time versus Kabal, simply because he can stun them on tagging and then unleash his special attacks. When it comes to the items, guys, if for some reason Kabal is your opener, then give him Devastator as a weapon, Respirator as armor, and Syndel's Ring as accessory, nothing else. This would be the perfect gear for him if he is your opener. If he is not the opener, then all depends on your playstyle and whether or not he is in an MK11 team. If he is in an MK11 team, guys, then give him a Rat Hammer. In case he's not, you can give him Cento Blade because Kabal will see a lot of action outside of MK11 team and he needs the block breaker equipment. When it comes to the armor, he only needs a Respirator, nothing else, guys. And in the last spot, guys, it is totally up to you. I would recommend you to equip him with either Bloody Voodoo Doll or Shansung Stone or Soul Medallion. It's really depending on your playstyle or whether you want to play with him a lot or whether you want him to be tagged out most of the time so that you can just take advantage of his passive. Now, this is going to be the easiest part of the review, guys. Kabal is perfect, amazing and great in an MK11 team. Outside of an MK11 team, he can do very well, but simply he's not that good. So when it comes to the best team for him, it really depends on how many MK11 characters you have. I would put him in a team with Jade and MK11 Sub-Zero, so that Jade will be my main fighter and then Kabal will just intervene if somebody decides to stun my Jade. However, you can also do a team with MK11 Scorpion, MK11 Sub-Zero and Kabal. That will be still very viable. It's totally up to you guys. Every single MK11 team is pretty good in this game. And when it comes to teams outside of MK11, only one viable team comes to mind. So I'll create a team with Kabal, which consists of other two guys who can stun on tagging. Stun Double Johnny Cage and Aftershock Tremor, and this is really a good team. And if you want to make it a little bit more challenging, you can replace Stun Double Johnny Cage, for example, with Leatherface, and that will be even funnier, because Aftershock Tremor and Kabal stun on tagging, and then Leatherface can come from behind and hit the opponent with his chainsaw. Okay guys, MK11 Kabal, what do you think of him? Do you like him? Do you dislike him? Please let me know in the comments. Once again, he scored the whopping 83.3 points on our scale and we labeled him as an amazing character. As usual guys, if you want to see more reviews, you can find them on the top right corner of the screen, and if you want to find out which is the next character who's going to be evaluated, you can find the list in the description of this video. See you next time guys, take care.
Impressive.
That all you got?